Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. Alright, I am going to go through a bit of the two newly released thanks to the docket. Plunder and Gray Hughes, they paid the fees for the clerks to get this stuff through their FOIA, so I'm going to play through the docket. I may leave some of his commentary up because Eric has some really good thoughts on it. I'm not going to play all this entire thing. I think there's two different interviews because I haven't listened to every single piece of it, because I want you guys to go over there as well if you already haven't been over to the docket. But so without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, one last thing, I'm going to put it on the screen here too when I do editing. Content warning, triggering stuff on here. It's graphic, and if it triggers you and bothers you, because normally I don't do a lot of that stuff here on the channel, please take care of yourself first.
It is February 29, 2024. Time is 5:09 p.m. We are at 4012 Santa Maria Drive. In reference to case number 24001809. It's myself, Detective Morris, Detective Smallwood, and Jennifer Soto. So, to give you a little bit of what's happening now, there's a few other additional pieces of evidence that we're collecting at the time. Okay. Some of that evidence came from Stefan's phone. Okay. Some of the pictures that were on the phone. Okay. That we've identified belonging to Maddie as well. So clothing that she was wearing, that sort of stuff. Okay. That's what we're collecting. Okay. Okay. We will leave you an evidence sheet to let you know what we took. Everything that we've taken from the house is in an evidence sheet that's going to be left here for you. Okay. Okay. It may take them a little bit because what they do is they take a picture of it, they collect it, go to the next one, take a picture of it, collect it. So it'll be a little bit, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so we spoke yesterday, and we've got a little bit more information since the last time we spoke. Last night, I guess it would be. So I'm going to ask you to go through this again. Monday morning, when you were asleep, Stefan and Maddie were upstairs, and she's going to school. Run me through that morning again. How, like, you mentioned something about you hearing noises, and then you woke up. So how exactly did that go down?
Monday morning, I was woken up by Stefan Stearns coming into my bedroom to try to put the leash on the dog. He was saying, "Here, puppy, let's go," and trying to leash him up. I got up off the bed at that moment because my dog has a tendency to pee a little bit when you're too direct and you put a leash on him. Mm-hmm. You have to, like, talk to him nicely, and yeah. He got the leash on the dog and told me, "Okay, don't worry about it, just go back to sleep." And I said, okay. So I went back to sleep.
I want to say here, this is to me pretty clear that she has lawyered up by this particular interview, which is the February 29th, because she refers to Stefan as Stefan Stearns. And we all know previously she did not do that. So I'm sure she's been advised to refer to him in that way.
I think this was around, I'm assuming this was around 8 o'clock in the morning, because I'm assuming, oh, he's getting ready to take her to school. He's walking the dog before he does that. Yeah. So I'm not sure what time it was, but I think it was around 8 o'clock in the morning when this happened. Okay. I thought I had heard somebody in the kitchen. I don't know who it could be. But yeah, I just heard sounds, but I'm not sure who it was. Who was in the kitchen? Could have been Stefan, could have been Maddie. Okay. Could have been one of my roommates. When
the deputies first talked to you, when you're reporting her missing,
yeah,
you remember writing a statement?
Yes.
Okay. In that statement, you say you saw Maddie.
I know. I misremembered. I did.
Okay, no, you lied. You didn't misremember. You lied.
110% I agree with Eric. She's a liar. Period. It's not she's allegedly a liar. She's a liar. She I don't know how much of it is just she's trying to protect her ass or protect Stefan's ass or both of their asses. But it's not her protecting Maddie. That I can tell you for sure.
I didn't see her.
Okay.
I wanted to believe I saw her, but I didn't.
But when you're talking to the deputy on his body cam, you describe what she's wearing.
Because she had picked it out the night before.
Okay.
I told her to set up her clothes the night before to have it ready, so she was ready to go.
Did you do a interview with Fox 35 recently?
Yes.
Okay. In that interview, you say something to the effect that you don't want her to come home.
I think it was misheard a couple times because I remember hearing the interview and I remember I rewatched it like 2 or 3 times, but I want to re-look back at it now. But I feel like she said that, I don't think that's exactly what she said. I think it may have been the way she said it, but I could be wrong. Let me know you guys' thoughts on that.
Do you remember that?
No. Why would I say that?
I don't know. That's part of the interview.
Maybe
I don't know if you listened to it or if you saw it.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay. Maybe when we're done with this, you can Google it and see if you misspoke or.
I must have misspoken because that's not. I remember asking her to come home. Please come home. We miss you. I want you here. Like, please be safe. I remember saying that.
Okay. All right. I wanted.
Okay, I think she might have said, "Please come home," but she didn't beg her to come home. That I know she didn't do. I remember feeling like she was kind of cold. She said, "Please come home. I hope she's okay," but it wasn't a very compassionate plea, in my opinion, at all.
I touch a little bit more, go more in depth on the relationship that you have with Stefan.
Okay, now they're going to get into some, I don't know, some graphic stuff. I mean, it's not extremely graphic, but it is about their sex life and the problems with it. So just so you know, and you're prepared for it.
Yeah, you said you guys have been dating for a while, and then you kind of broke up, and it's been on and off for a few years, I guess you'd say, right?
Yeah.
During that time, was he seeing anybody else?
I was told at one point sometime last year that, hey, the girl I was hanging out with, one of my coworkers I was hanging out with outside of work, who I said I was hanging out with, I was really having sex with her. Because I asked him, I'm like, did you have sex with her? Like, because you told me you were just hanging out. Did you have sex with her? And he admitted that he did. I think her name is Marielle, but I'm not sure what her name is. What her last name would be.
Okay. Now, the relationship that you had with Stefan, you told me that you haven't had sex in a while.
Yeah.
When you guys were together and intimate with each other, it is maybe a little uncomfortable, but it's something that we have to discuss, is when you guys were intimate with each other, a lot of people call it vanilla sex. Some people call it, whatever kind of sex you want to call it. How would you describe you and Stefan when you guys were intimate?
Pretty vanilla. I would say just missionary and oral. But nothing more than that. Missionary.
Okay. Has he ever asked you to perform a certain way or anything that you think would be out of the ordinary?
He's I want to say he's joked around about wanting anal sex, and And like, yeah, we should do that. We should try that. And I'm like, absolutely not. No. To me, his penis is average size, but thick, and it hurts. So I don't want, even normal sex hurt to me. So I just didn't want to do it anymore, honestly.
Okay.
This makes me sick, this whole entire part. So, again, I hope y'all haven't eaten before you're listening to this. If you have, you may want to come back later. But it's disgusting. It truly is.
Nothing other than that you think would be out of the ordinary?
No.
Okay. All right, so he is on medication. You told me he's on medication for insomnia.
Insomnia.
Can you say that right? Sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And then I believe you said ADHD.
Yeah, and also anxiety meds, I think.
Anxiety, okay. Anything else that you can think of?
He did have, I think, a vial of, I'm not sure if it was Viagra or Cialis, but one or the other. I know he was having a hard time getting an erection or being able to enjoy getting off. And he ended up figuring out we couldn't figure out, he went to the doctors, tried to figure out why he was having these issues. They told him it must be something mental because physically his body's fine, should be acting normal.
Okay.
But we found out it was a side effect due to the Adderall medication he was on, that he was not able to enjoy himself sexually. Once he got off Adderall for a while and was able to enjoy himself again.
Again, this makes me sick. This makes me very, very sick. I don't want to be too graphic. I mean, this is already graphic enough. But I feel like he wasn't getting off because Jennifer is not the type that he likes. Let's just leave it at that.
There was no need for the Cialis or anything
Gotcha.
like that.
Okay. Would he ever talk to you about what kind of porn he liked watching or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Have you ever, quote unquote, watched porn with him or anything like that?
No.
Why the long pause there, Jen? No. I think you may have. That's just my opinion anyway.
Okay. All right, now Maddie, what medication did she take?
She was on hydroxyzine, which is a sleeping medication and anxiety medication. So that. Because she suffers from really bad GI issues. She's constantly constipated. What else? She had an asthma inhaler. She had an asthma inhaler. I can't think of any other meds she was on.
Does she take that medicine to school with her?
The asthma medication, yes. The asthma medication, yes. The Adderall I give to her before she goes to school, and the anxiety meds we give it to her when she's at home.
How does she react to this medicine?
Normal.
Like, how does her body react?
Fine.
Okay.
No side effects. No, nothing weird.
Okay. And she takes it in the morning or at night?
Adderall she'll take in the morning. Hydroxyzine, the sleeping meds, or the anxiety meds, either or. Probably in the afternoon or evening time close to bed. We use it mostly for sleep aid. That would be given to her at night. The asthma medication was used, and the GI medication was given.
Okay. And then medication that you take.
Me?
Yeah.
I take Ziprazidone, which is brand name is Geodon. That's for bipolar medication. I take anxiety medication, lorazepam, methimazole, which is a thyroid medication. I'm also prescribed medical marijuana in capsule form and flower form. And then a vitamin D medication, a really high dose of vitamin D I have to, because I had gastric sleeve surgery a few years ago, so I'm vitamin deficient, so they give me some high doses of medications to keep my vitamins balanced.
Okay, I wanted to note, I know my friend Brooks this morning mentioned, why would someone in Florida, she was thinking, why would somebody in Florida need vitamin D? Well, honestly, I'm on vitamin D. Well, I'm supposed to be taking it. Not everyone in Florida gets enough sun. I know that sounds crazy, but you have to be outside during certain peak hours to get it, and it's so hot and humid here. A lot of folks don't. And for example, I run, 3 or 4 times a week, and I'm mostly running in, early morning hours before the sun's really, really up. So that is an issue with a number of Floridians and that I know. So it's definitely not uncommon to be needing vitamin D.
I think that's it.
Okay. All right. So going back to the morning that Stefan takes her to school, you said you think it's around 8 o'clock when you physically see Stefan messing with the dog?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't see Maddie anywhere?
I don't.
Okay. When Maddie gets dressed for school, like now that I've seen the inside of the house, it looks like a majority of her clothes are in that little partitioned area in the living room.
Yeah.
Does she have clothes anywhere else? Like, where would she put clothes to wear to school the next day?
Okay. Where would she get dressed? She would get dressed in her bedroom, right there, that little nook in the living room. All her clothes are there. When she takes off her clothes, her dirty laundry hamper is typically in my bathroom downstairs, and she'll just dump it in the basket. But there is no basket there right now. She's been dumping everything on the floor. I think the basket is currently being used with clean clothes, so I just wanted to keep the clean clothes and dirty clothes separated. So dirty clothes are on the floor right now. What's in the basket should be like half clean, half dirty clothes, I think. Yeah.
Okay. When you go to sleep, when you were sleeping that night, was your door open or shut?
It is left cracked open.
Cracked open. Okay. Would you see or hear Maddie going to get changed?
I would say yes, but if I weren't deep asleep, and I think I was deep asleep because I didn't hear anything until Stefan came and woke me up to try to get the dog.
Okay, so he woke you up to help with the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't hear tussling around or wrestling around in the kitchen that made you wake up to go help?
No. It was him. He came directly into my room and grabbed the dog, and I got up. I shot up to try to help him. It was until later that after that is when I heard rustling in the kitchen.
Okay. So he takes the dog out, took a potty or whatever it may be, and he comes back inside. Do you see him when he comes back inside?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember him leaving, saying bye to you or anything like that when he's taking Maddie to school?
I don't think so. I think at this point I was already back deep asleep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure when he went to walk the dog, and left, I fell right back asleep immediately.
Okay. Now, you go back to sleep. You wake up because you have a doctor appointment to go get blood drawn or something like that.
Yeah.
And you told me your appointment was around 10 or something like that, 9, 10?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I think it was 10:15. Yes, it was at 10:15.
Okay. So you go to this appointment, and on your way back, did you talk to Stefan on the phone at all?
I know I talked to him while I was in the parking lot waiting for my blood work to happen. I just don't recall if I called him on my way home as well. It would seem like I would do that, but I just can't 100% tell you if I did do that or not.
Okay. At what time did you and him meet back up here?
So I got back from my blood work appointment anytime between, I'll say 11:15, 11:30, so sometime around that time.
And was he already here?
Yes.
Okay. What did you guys talk about when you got home?
What happened this morning?
What did he say? What happened this morning?
He's like, we had a good morning. We made really good time. Maddie got ready super quick. We were out the door super quickly. I was super impressed with our time. I tried convincing Maddie to go have McDonald's breakfast a few times, but she changed her mind and decided she didn't want to. She just wanted to sleep in the car. And the thing is, the night before, we had discussed, oh, Maddie, maybe he should leave a little bit earlier than normal so that you can go get breakfast with him at McDonald's. That would be a really cool day to start a Monday right after your birthday, having McDonald's at breakfast. And she's like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So they were supposed to have gone to McDonald's, but he told me they didn't. He told me he had left his phone because I had no, he had already told me this earlier that he had left his phone. What else did he talk to me about? We sat in my room for a while, hung out. He discussed having to reset his phone even though he didn't want to, or no, not reset his phone. He discussed needing to update his phone because he's been avoiding an update for so long. But I think it's time to do it. And I said, just do it. Stop avoiding it. Just do it. And he started the update. And then through the update, he's like, oh my God, I don't know what button I pressed, but I just factory erased my entire phone. And I said, that was stupid. How'd you manage to do that? He goes, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention and I just clicked the button and it happened. And I said, oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Or did he tell you he meant to reset his phone?
No, he didn't tell me he meant to reset his phone. He acted like and said that it was an accident.
Did you find that odd?
Of course I find that fucking odd. That's suspicious as hell.
It should be suspicious. I don't know many people who factory reset their phones. That's not normal at all.
That,
Have you ever reset any kind of phone?
me, I have no idea how to do that now.
Okay. Have you ever had to do an update on a phone?
I think so. On these phones, yeah, sometimes it'll ask me to just continue on with the update. And do I remember it ever asking me to erase? No.
Got it. Okay.
But he's got a Samsung. I have Apple, so I don't know if there is a difference or not. So,
All right. Now that you mentioned phones, so Maddie had a phone.
yeah.
And explain to me what her attachment is to her phone.
Her phone is her lifeline. That's how she talks to all her friends. That's how she talks to any of us. She's constantly on video chat with her best friend or talking to them. or playing video games with them. But she's on her phone pretty often. What exactly would you like to know about her?
So, at one point you told either a deputy or officer or detectives that sometimes she leaves her phone at home when she goes to school.
Yeah.
How often do you think that is?
I would say once every few weeks. It happens a lot. Like, for me, that's a lot. She has ADHD. She's very forgetful. She'll set something down and completely forget where she said it later. Where I found her phone was on her dresser. So I'm assuming she placed it there while she was getting ready and completely forgot about it, got ready, grabbed her backpack, and left. But it was on the dresser in front of her TV. But for me, that's a normal thing for her to forget her phone.
Now, when she went, do you remember what time she went to bed on Sunday?
I sent them to bed around 11 o'clock.
Okay. Did you see him or her anytime after that other than in the morning? Or talk to them? Either via text or yell through the walls or...
No, nothing like that. If anything, Stefan may have come down to use the restroom.
Why wouldn't he use the restroom upstairs?
Because our roommate does not like sharing. Our roommate does not like sharing bathrooms with men, and she asked that we don't use that bathroom, or that he doesn't use that bathroom specifically.
That's because Stefan is creepy as hell. She don't want to share a bathroom with him and his nasty ass. I don't blame the girl. I mean, I wouldn't want to go anywhere near him. I wouldn't want to go anywhere near Stefan Stearns and his nasty ass. And using the same bathroom? Hell no.
So we've respected her wishes, and he's been using my bathroom this whole time.
Okay. Were you supposed to work Monday?
No, I was off.
Okay. What about Tuesday?
Off. Wednesday, I was supposed to work.
And you told me you work at the front desk at Coronado Springs at Disney.
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
Less than a week.
Okay. Did you work anywhere prior to that?
I was a substitute teacher for Kelly Education.
And how long did you do that?
Maybe a month or two. Not very long. And then before that, I've been unemployed. I've been living off disability, essentially. I'm disabled.
Okay. Why are you disabled? From what?
I have a bunch of things. Primarily PTSD.
Alright. They're going to redact this part, and Eric actually mentions it as well. You can kind of guess from the parts that are on here what she is alleging. I'm not saying she's lying about this part or not, but it's really hard to trust anything that comes out of her mouth with how often she lies. So that doesn't mean that something didn't happen to her, but I would think if something happened to her, she would be more cautious about her daughter. But again, she's going to allude to something that caused her this PTSD, which supposedly is why she is disabled and has all of these problems and can't hold down a job for any kind of period of time.
Why are you disabled? From what?
I have a bunch of things. Primarily PTSD.
From what?
So PTSD, bipolar 2, generalized anxiety.
There's your confirmation. It is now factually known. Bipolar 2. It's factual now. Straight from the horse's mouth. So we can forget about the horse's ass. We're getting it from the horse's mouth now.
100%, 110%, Eric. I agree with him. But here's the thing. I still In my personal opinion, that does not give her a free pass because of her mental illness to not be a mother and take care of her child and protect her daughter, especially more so because of her PTSD. It is infuriating.
ADHD. I think that's pretty much it with my psychiatric stuff.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, what happened with...
I went on a date with a guy I had met.
Was this before Stefan, or...
Yeah, this was before
Okay.
Stefan. This was way before. It was a few years before Stefan, or maybe the year before Stefan. But met a guy at a car dealership who interviewed me for a job. I turned the job down, and he said, "Oh, great, I can't date my employees." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to take you out on a date." And I said, "Oh, wow, I've never been asked out on a date in person before." And we went out on a date. He got really drunk. We got back to his place.
Redacted, 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 redacted. But you get where she's going with it.
All right.
If you didn't work, what would your typical day look like?
My entire day was focused around Maddie.
On a normal basis?
I would wake up first thing in the morning, make sure she was ready, make her breakfast, get her backpack and water bottle ready. If she's taking lunch, get her some lunch ready. This is me doing this while she's getting ready. Walk the dog, come back, make sure she takes all her medications before school, take her to school, come back. I typically have a bunch of doctor's appointments to go to often, so I'm either at doctor's appointments. If I'm not at doctor's appointments, I'm just here at home, probably napping, resting, just waiting until it's time to pick her up from school again. She was...
I find it hard to believe that her days when she wasn't working are all about Maddie. Do you guys feel like that sounds a little bit exaggerated to you? Maybe when she was younger, and then of course she's saying, "Oh, I get her whole backpack ready, get her water bottle ready, take her to school, and walk the dog, come home and I sleep or go to the doctor's." Okay. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of this stuff, but the fact that she's got disability, I have questions, but that's me personally. But my biggest question is, if she is on disability, how the hell is she working? Because I don't think you can work if you're on disability. At least that's not the way I understand it. So it always seems like she sort of tells you, but it's kind of out there, with how she speaks.
Everything I did was, my everyday was for her.
Now you have a little bit of what we've been hearing in all of the other interviews, right? That little, you can hear her voice cracking up a little bit, but it gets harder.
Did Stefan know about your doctor appointment on Monday? Did you tell him what your plans were on Sunday?
I'm not sure when I told him. I must have told him Sunday night, yeah, or Sunday, because there's no way I could have told him Monday morning if he didn't have his phone on him, and I didn't really talk to him that morning.
Where'd you meet him?
We both worked at a real estate office off of I Drive somewhere. They're called Eco Homes. I don't think they exist anymore though. The Eco Home Company. I think he was a real estate agent for them or did warranty work for them. And I was an appointment setter. And I didn't have that job for very long. I got fired. It was right after my PTSD incident. I couldn't hold down a job at all.
So when you and Stefan would hang out, say Maddie's at school and you two wanted to hang out, or the three of you wanted to hang out, like what would you guys do? Like where would you go? Or
primarily Disney. We have Disney annual pass holders. We both worked for Disney at one point. Well, at least he worked there at one point. I still work there. But we go to Disney. We go to Disney, or we stay at home and like they would play board games, or we'd watch. Well, we loved watching movies. We would always have family time and just watch a new movie. Like I felt like it was one of our projects to make sure that she watched all the good movies from the 80s and 90s that we grew up watching. I just wanted her to like have the knowledge of pop culture. So last movie we watched with her was Sister Act.
when was that?
Sunday night.
Would you go out to like eat anywhere, like a favorite restaurant or anything like that?
The only restaurant I think we frequented a handful of times in the last year is La Mexicana. It's on off of Columbia. Honestly, living on disability and then his income at Disney, like, it wasn't enough to survive. We really didn't eat out often. We couldn't afford it.
Okay. I think she gets more into the fact that they can't afford stuff. Let me tell you something. Disney annual passes are expensive. I live here. I used to work for Disney many years ago when I was younger, high school. And I have a lot of friends who still work out there, and I know people have passes. Disney passes, I don't care if you're a cast member or Florida resident or not. They are very expensive, and they've only gotten higher in their costs every year. So if they are so budget tight, the fact they have Disney annual passes is very strange to me. The only thing I could think of is was Jennifer's dad paying for them? Or something else on the side was paying for that. It definitely was not coming out of... It doesn't make sense. Let's put it that way. It doesn't make sense with how she's describing their alleged income. Anyway.
Would you go, like, visit any parks or other than, not Disney parks, but like neighborhood parks or anything like that?
No, we'd hang out right here at this lake. Maddie really liked hanging out at this lake and just drawing, sitting on one of the benches and drawing. Any other park? No, not really.
Now, what if it was just you and him? Say going out on a date or wherever. Where would you guys typically go?
So, due to money, hardly ever went out on a date. Honestly, we hardly went out on dates.
Due to money, they didn't go on dates. You don't have to have a lot of money to go on a date, Jen. You can go walk in the park. There's plenty of free places to just stroll, grab a coffee, whatever, and then you can catch a matinee at a theater. I don't know. The point is, her saying that because of money they didn't go out, and again, yet they have annual passes to Disney. Just a little odd.
There's only one date I can think of that we went on, and that was like years ago at the beginning of our relationship, where we went to Disney Springs. I went to the Edison. I don't think we've had many date nights, just him and me. It's always been the three of us doing something, going to dinner, going to Disney Springs. We visit Disney Springs sometimes, often, or not often, but sometimes. We really liked that restaurant, Deluxe Burger. Really good. Jane really enjoyed it there.
Now, the dynamic between you three. I know you told me that sometimes you and her would sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
Sometimes the three of you would sleep in the bed. And then sometimes you would send him and her to a bedroom so you could get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
How long has that been going on?
Okay, so I'm going to say back in June. It was primarily the three of us sleeping in bed together all the time.
And why? How did that start?
Maddie has always slept in the bed with me. She's always slept in my room. Only when we lived in that apartment in Northport did she have her own bedroom, and we could afford for her to have her own room. So that was the only time she's actually had her own room. Here, she's always shared a room with me. When she was a baby, she had her own bedroom here for a few years. But once she got older and we started having roommates and all that stuff, she started just staying with me in my bedroom. Stefan, during the times that we did live with Stefan, it would be the three of us in this bed down here, down in the master bedroom. It wasn't until June of last year that we had broken up, and I said, okay, I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you. Please move upstairs. And he moved upstairs.
First of all, having to sleep with your mom, maybe when you're little, okay. But when you're like 10, 11, 12, this is not normal, Jen. That's not normal. And what's even more abnormal and sick is the fact that you thought it was okay to let your boyfriend, your nasty ass boyfriend, sleep in bed with you and Maddie. That's disgusting. That's not even her father. And then of course you sent her on that awful night, you sent her up to room number 4 with nasty ass Stefan. All because you are selfish. That's why Maddie didn't have a lot of things. Because you're selfish.
At this point, Maddie pretty much slept with me all the time. I think I can count maybe on one hand how many times she's gone upstairs to sleep with him alone, because I wasn't comfortable with it. I was like, no, this it doesn't look right. Like, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I'm not comfortable with it. Maddie, you gotta sleep with me. And I've told him that. But there were times that they'd beg for sleepovers, like, please, we just want to stay up late watching movies. And I would be too tired to stay up late, so I would say, fine, go ahead and do it. But just this once, like...
When did you start becoming comfortable with it?
I don't know if I was ever comfortable with it.
Yeah, well, you were definitely not offended by it. You basically gave her to Stefan. You let your daughter go through hell. Why? Again, I come back to where you stated you were allegedly attacked and you have PTSD because of it. Yet, why aren't you a more protective mother? Why aren't you a mama bear to Maddie? It should have made you more protective of her, especially around your boyfriend.
But you told them to go Sunday night to go sleep together.
I did. That was a selfish move on my part. It's because I wanted a good night's sleep. I didn't want her kicking me or rolling onto me or waking me up, or to hear her alarm so that it woke me up. I wanted to keep sleeping until I needed to sleep, because I just had not, with my training schedule, I have not had a good night's sleep. My medication was out of whack. I was feeling funny and not like myself. And I knew that I needed another night's sleep and my medication in my body like ASAP, so I needed to go to bed. So that was...
You are a very, very selfish person. Your daughter, she should have come first for you. Period, Jen. And that's something you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. I don't know if you care about it that much, because your emotions are very strange to me. But if you really needed to sleep alone, why didn't you tell her to go sleep in her bed downstairs? I realize it's not a real bedroom, and that's a whole nother ball of crap in issues. But the fact that you sent her to sleep in the same bed and bedroom with your allegedly now ex-boyfriend, or whatever you wanted to call him, yeah, very, very, very wrong. I have to say, I do hope it haunts you for the rest of your days.
I wasn't even comfortable sending her that night, but I just did it for my own selfish reasons.
Okay. Did you know?
Redacted.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it.
If anything, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child, and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him, like, that was my biggest fear, and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
Because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man. My mom put that in my body. Never trust a man.
No. Your mom did not tell you that. Yolanda did not tell you to never trust a man. This all stemmed from your PTSD or whatever, okay? And if you feared this, why did you let him in your life and Maddie's life? Not to mention, you're now blaming Maddie for this, for the fact that she was abused and later murdered by someone you brought into her world. You did not protect her. You did not do one damn thing to protect her. And I almost think that you're jealous. And that's disgusting. And that just makes me sick. That you could be jealous of the fact that he loved her more than you. Again, it makes me sick to even consider that. But it comes to mind.
And, like, I did not completely 100% trust the man, but in my, like, the logic in my head was saying, you know, he's been in your life for 7 years, nothing's happened, he hasn't shown you anything that he's weird, or that he's done or that he's interested in her, or said anything about her body, or talked to her about her in any specific way that, like, freaked me out. He's never said anything like that, or shown me any of those signs. So I thought I could trust him, that he was safe, that he was a good guy, and that he was taking care of my baby and loved her the way I loved her. But I was wrong.
I don't believe that for a hot second. You knew what was happening. You later on say, well, the sex wasn't evil. What? She's a child. She is a child, 10, 11, 12 years old. Maddie was a young girl, a child. You failed her. You failed her so badly, Jen. You failed her. You brought her into this world and you failed her.
Yes, because you may think he was whatever.
I know.
Is it real? Genuinely asking. Do you think it's real?
It's not real. It's bullshit. And sorry, guys, I try not to curse on the channel, and I know there's some language on these interviews. No, it's not real. She changes her tones, her emotions at the drop of a hat. Like that. It's not real. It's fake. And I wish we could see her face. I wish we had video of this to see. Because I guarantee you, she's not crying. There's no tears. There's probably no snot. There's no tears. It's fake. And we've seen it on the stand before. We've seen it from other people who claim, oh, woe is me. And they can't shed a tear or anything. Because it's fake. It is fake as hell.
So I need you to, I know this is a lot, but Monday morning, I really need you to focus on his actions Monday morning.
Okay.
So you go to help him with the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you or do you not see Maddie?
I do not see Maddie.
Okay. At that time, would it be normal for her to be awake, getting up, ready for school?
Yes.
Okay. And according to you, she typically does that in her bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. When you go out of your bedroom to help him with this dog...
I never left my bedroom.
Didn't?
He was in my bedroom. He walked in, the dog was on top of my bed, and he went to leash the dog on top of my bed. I got off the bed to try to help him with that, and then he said, no, go back to sleep, so I did.
Okay. He tells you that he took Maddie to school and drops her off somewhere near the school so she could walk, because she doesn't want to be seen inside of his car.
Yeah.
Okay, do you believe him?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because of the evidence, because of photos, because of what you're telling me. Because he's clearly a liar.
Please make the fake stop. The fake upset, the fake sadness, which I'm sure the lack of tears, and if you have tears, you're pulling them from, you're out of your ass, okay? Oh, because he's a liar. You've known he's a liar. And you know all these things. You've already known them. It's just, it makes my stomach turn. Both of them. Both her and Stefan.
I want to hope my daughter's alive and out there, that she was taken. I don't know anymore.
Well, I can be fairly confident that a stranger did not take Maddie. The only person she was with was Stefan.
Why would he go to Northport?
I don't know. I don't know what's in Northport other than his parents. Did you know he was going to Northport?
I thought when I woke up and he wasn't in the hotel, I I thought he had gone to the Target Plaza right next door to the hotel we were staying at, because he likes to go shopping when he's stressed. But that's not what happened according to you guys. He actually went all the way to Northport and came back.
So when he gets stressed, he likes to go shopping.
Yeah.
Okay, did he tell you he was going shopping on Monday?
He was gonna go stop at a few game shops to see if they had any Lorcana cards for sale.
Would that be considered stressful shopping? In your mind?
No, because he does this often. He'll want to see what stores have what in stock to see if he can afford to buy it or not. Mm-hmm. He'll go from shop to shop. He's done this. He does this. He does that.
Okay. So going back to it, he says he drops Maddie off and he sees her walking towards the school.
Yeah.
And then, did he tell you where he went after that?
He said he drove around for a little bit, killing time, and then...
Killing time for what?
For the vape shop to open.
Okay.
And then I think he told me he waited... No, he told me he waited in front of the vape shop for it to open. But I think that it didn't open. It never opened in time when it was supposed to.
Do you know what vape shop he went to?
Yes. Let me pull it up. And I know that I brought this vape shop up to one of the other detectives earlier, and I had shown them this location. But that vape shop is located in a plaza where it has an Amscot on one corner and a bank on the other corner. So if you guys could probably find video footage of if he was even there, pulling in and out. That's in Hunter's Creek.
And you know for a fact this is where he went?
That's where he told me. Yeah. If it's any vape shop, it's this vape shop. And
why that one? Why that specific one?
He likes the brand, the e-smoker company. And that's where he gets all of his vape stuff. He won't go to any other vape shop around here. He goes to that one.
What time is this vape shop supposed to open? Does it say on there?
10 a.m.
Okay. When you guys are here, are you guys assigned garage remotes for the... How many of those do you have?
I have one. Stefan has one. I'm not sure if Angelica or Natalie have one.
Is it something you keep in your pocket, or?
I keep in my car.
What about Stefan?
I think sometimes he leaves it in the car, sometimes he brings it in with himself. It depends.
Why would he bring it inside?
I'm not sure.
Does that seem normal to you? To bring a garage remote inside the house?
No. But he said that morning he left the house. He said that morning he left the house and then returned again because he forgot the garage clicker, so he came back to get the clicker. I don't know how true that is or not. But
Do you think that was odd?
he's a very forgetful guy. I don't fucking know what to think of him anymore. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know.
All right. So you know you're all around.
Yeah. That's Maddie asleep in the car.
Maddie's not asleep in the car.
What do you mean?
Do you believe Maddie's asleep there?
Is she dead?
I don't know.
Is she dead?
We don't know where she's at.
If he's telling you she's not asleep, then what do you think, Jen? You're not that dense, are you? And your emotion totally not there at all right now. You sure turn it off like a water faucet, don't you?
Now, I will tell you, she's processing that, right? She's processing that. Now listen.
I'd wait for her to be laying down sleeping.
I boosted that as loud as I could, but she's still that soft spoken.
Listen, I'd wait for her to be laying down sleeping.
Yeah, that's because she's not sleeping, Jen. They just told you. She's not asleep. And you said, is she dead? As flat as anything. I'm telling you, she knew, and this interview happened on February 29th, remember. This is before they found Maddie in St. Cloud. I believe Jen knew she was already dead. And I still believe she knew that day. And she definitely knew, in my opinion, my thinking, she knew by the time they called 911 from her mom's office in Hunters Creek.
So this is at 7:30 in the morning. Ish.
It's way too early.
But you said you thought around 8 o'clock.
Because I assumed that he was getting her ready for school. So that would be the time he'd wake me up and take her.
You know what they say when you assume, right? You make an ass out of yourself sometimes. And that's what she's doing right now.
Next picture is going to be Maddie in the front seat of Stefan's car. You see right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's taken at 9 o'clock near SeaWorld.
9 o'clock in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Where did he go?
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
And right there, she whispered something, where the F did he go, or something like that.
What the fuck? Where did he go?
Something WTF, something where go.
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
He went to SeaWorld?
He's near SeaWorld. That's International Drive. Does he know anybody up there?
I don't think so.
Is there a special
He
place
doesn't
he
have-
likes to go?
He doesn't have many friends like that. Like, not locally. Does he have anywhere he would like to go?
Is there a special place he likes to go?
Nothing I can think of.
Here's another picture from the dumpster in Venetian Bay of Stefan throwing away trash.
What day?
That's going to be Monday morning, probably around 7:45.
What day? What the hell do you think, Jen? It's Monday. The day your daughter went missing, or we all know she was killed. What day? What a dumb question.
Has the dumpster, has that already been taken? Have you guys been able to look at what was dumped?
Mm-hmm.
What was thrown out?
What do you think was in there?
Clothes? I don't know.
What makes you say clothes?
I can't tell what he's holding. I don't know if it's a plastic bag full of stuff or...
Inside of that bag is Maddie's backpack, Maddie's school computer, and one of her Crocs.
Clothes? Yeah, because that's the first thing you think of when you see someone holding a bag that's a bag of trash. You think, oh, there must be clothes in that bag they're putting in the dumpster. Really? She's acting like she's stupid. She's acting dumb, but she's not. She's not that dumb.
Are you telling me we're looking for a body right now?
We're looking for Maddie, absolutely. 100% we're looking for her.
No. It's most likely she's not alive.
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Are you telling me we're looking for a body right now? No, we're looking for your daughter. We're looking for your daughter, Madeline, Jennifer. A body? Let's not make it any personal, at all. This is someone you gave birth to 13 years ago. Are you telling me we're looking for a body? No, we're looking for your daughter. We are looking for Madeline. Sweet little Madeline. I'm glad the detective got her on that. I mean, what the freaking hell? Seriously. This irked me so much with how she made that statement. And I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to continue to do this in other videos. Please, I want to say it again, please head over to the docket. This was from him, and I left some of Eric's commentary because I do think he makes some very good observations, and it's appreciated that he's got this out for everyone and that they got all these interviews out, because this is really telling stuff, guys. This is very, very telling. I mean, we already knew how sick Stefan was. And we already knew that Jennifer has some massive problems. I'm not willing to just chalk it up to her bipolar and PTSD. I'm not. I mean, you're welcome to disagree with me, and please let me know in the comments. I'm always up for a good, discussion. But as always, just be respectful. We don't all have to agree. It's totally fine. But personally, I think that she was complicit. She did nothing to help her daughter at all. Stefan came into their life and he groomed Madeline and he abused her. And I also believe not only did he take photos for himself, but I believe personally that he sold them. And that's how he had extra money. Remember, his dad said that he would have packages showing up in Northport. And he said, well, where's he getting this money from? Oh, I've got the savings account. No, you don't. No, you don't. This is all money you got from selling nasty images. Images of an innocent girl that you claim to care about. Madeline went through hell. She went through hell her last few years. And it makes me sick. This interview made me more sick than all the others. And like I said, there's more to it. And you could see on there, if you go to the docket, his live with this is like 3 hours long. So I'll definitely do one more part to go through it. But I don't want to cover all of his stuff, at least not all at one time. Because I do want you guys to head over there. I do love his work. He really gets a lot of stuff. He gets a lot of good documents and that sort of stuff. But again, we are all here because we want justice for Madeline. We want justice for Maddie. And I plan on being right there as part of her little army right up until he is locked into death row, hopefully, and he rots in prison. Because right now, he's sitting in what's going to be pretty much luxury in Osceola County in Kissimmee, and that's nice. He complains about it in his emails to his mama and his daddy about how, it's so filthy and his mat has got nothing to it. But you know what? Osceola County Jail is nice. It's very nice compared to where you're going to go. So enjoy it while you can, Stefan, because the big house, it's a coming, buddy. It is a coming. And I'm pretty sure you're going to really cry then. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And with that said, I hope you have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.